So Christine, can you tell me a little bit about what you're doing here and how I'm going to be able to help you?
Hi. This is what they call the heavy fraction bone lab, and I am setting up a station for her to work at, so she can work right beside me doing the soil evaluation. And what we do is we take a picture like this, and we have bags. And I'm going to pull a bag for her, and this is one of the soil samples. And we set up these little cups that are really nifty because they have little pointed ends, because the items that are going into the cups are eventually going to go into little bags. So let me show you some of the bags. I did these this morning. And as you can see, the bags are labeled. They're all neat inside. All the goodies are inside.
So they're all categorized and separated?
Yes, into categories. This one's really special because this is a bead I found this morning. And you can see how tiny it is. And
it's amazing that you actually spotted it.
Well, I have really good eyes. I think that's why it works for me to do this. And I found a little tiny piece of green glass yesterday. I found 2 nails, ancient nails.
Wow.
And I also found 2 tiny, tiny pieces of pottery, not even half the size of my fingernail, that were painted.
That's cool.
And I took them up to Linda, and they took them all away from me.
That's
They were so cool. So they don't know I have the bead yet.
That's
So
really
anyway, what we're doing is we're filling out a sheet. The sheet has the information on it, all the locus number, the basket, the square, the date, who's doing it, we sign it, all of that. There's always a little card like this that's inside of the bags. So we just take the information off of the card and write it on the paper. And then I'm keeping the cards with the paper too. So these I did this morning. And these I did, well, I've been working on it for 4 days. So.
And this, in its title, is called Fraction?
Heavy fracturing.
Fracturing.
Yeah, and we have a little scale, and we'll weigh all of the samples on the little scale. It's a digital scale. We also have magnets.
Oh, cool.
And we will check to see whether there's metal or not.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we will just simply use our tweezers and work off the tray. And we have these little nifty student directions where it says, what are you looking for? Ceramic shards, bones, charred seeds. I found a seed yesterday. Beads, melted or slag metal, shells, any other odd item. This morning I found an odd item. Where is it? It was a piece of yellow, some sort of bright yellow.
Oh yeah, stone.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly where it came from, so we're putting it right there to ask later. So there are things that don't necessarily look really identifiable right off the bat. But as I've worked through this just within the last 4 days, I've quickly learned the difference between the bones, the shells, what we call this, which is vitrified earth, which basically is dirt that would have been, say, under a fire pit, and the fire heats the dirt up so much that it just kind of coagulates into these rocks.
Wow.
So they have a different look. But the first time you do it, it's really hard to differentiate. But I caught on pretty quick as to what, especially the bone, because bone is lighter weight. And so I really use my fingers a lot to feel the
texture.
Yeah, and the weight, because the bone is always lighter than the rock. And so sometimes you'll get a piece of this vitrified earth that it has all these holes in it, and you think, oh, that must be bone. No, it's too heavy for bone. So you have to just kind of weigh it with your fingers and test it. But I think it's pretty fun.
I'm excited. Yay!
Okay.
Ready to get started.
Here we go.